Yo, Rocco B, Scotty G, highly explicit NFL podcast. We're back, episode 39. Holy shit. But I'm Rocco B in Louisville, Kentucky, and podcasting from the backseat of his Jeep in California. Hey, he ain't fucking LL Cool J, but it's my boy Scotty G.
How you doing?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What
Backseat of my
flashback, huh?
Jeep, baby.
You like that?
Huh?
Come on.
I like it.
Fucking circa 2000, what, 4, 5?
I don't
Holy
fucking know. It's a
shit.
long time ago, though, man.
My God. All right,
Hey,
Scotty.
Rock, I just gotta say something to start this pod off. I gotta apologize. The last pod we did, I got a little busy mid pod, and I had to
sauced.
No. You see, I had to run out and do a couple errands, and my cousin Scotty G.
Oh, Saucy G.
Yeah, he stepped on for me for a few minutes. He's my third cousin, half removed.
I didn't know you had a cousin there in California.
Yes, yeah, Scotty G. So he was a little sauced, and I don't know. He was ranting about Russell Wilson, all kinds of shit. I don't know. So we'll try to pick up the pieces where good old Saucy G left off.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was that bad, but phew, hopefully there's no glasses and ice cubes around you tonight. I'll tell you that. But this is the time of year, baby, that we love. The fucking time of year that we love.
It's the best.
The NFL draft is coming up, and your boys, the New York Jets, have 2 first-round picks in the top 10. Unbelievable.
Rock.
Number 4, number 10.
Rock, I'm going to say this real quick. I told Dr. Tomas this yesterday. I'm guaranteeing, okay? Listen to me. I'm guaranteeing the New York Jets will have 3 first-round picks this year.
Whoa. The New York Jets are going to trade back in for another pick is what you're saying.
Or trade back and get multiple picks. It's one or the other. I think that 10 becomes 2 in the first round.
Okay.
Or they trade back in from the top of the second.
Well, listen, pal.
But we'll get there.
Let's get there. And, we got episode 40 is a big one. We're getting to the 40-yard line finally in our year 2. Episode 40 next time. We're going to hit you, of course, with the huge, we tell you, mock drafts from Scotty G, Rocco B, and also Dr. Tomas. We crushed it last year, and we beat all the fucking prognosticators, and we're going to do it again this year, even though this year is a fucking crapshoot. An absolute crapshoot.
Oh, my God, it's tough this year.
Last year, at least, we got, a little bit of I don't want to say lucky, but I mean, we got a little bit of a break with those 2 quarterbacks in the top 2 that we all knew were getting picked. But holy shit, I mean, the Jaguars don't know what the fuck they're doing at number 1, and neither do we. But we're going to give you our best fucking guess on what Jacksonville's thinking. But before we do that, Scotty, I promised the folks that we would do what we called titillating. Yes, I said titillating, top 5. It's back, and it's better than ever because actually we're going to hit you with a salacious 6. Yeah, the salacious 6. We got no doubt standouts, the booms of the first round of the draft, and we got what we're calling, you might as well be an Alabama offensive lineman because you're going to Bus City and you're going to be a bust. So we got a salacious 6.
The top 5 tits, the low-hanging tits, and salacious 6 is what you're telling me.
That's what we got, and I'm going to tell you what. I can't wait, and there is nothing like the NFL draft. So I would say, Scotty, let's get right to it. Let's get to our no doubt standouts. And I want you to go first. I want you to hit me with who you love in this NFL draft first round, who you believe is not only going to be, of course, drafted in the first round, but also going to be a no-doubt standout, a surefire hit for one of these fucking teams. Who's it got?
All right, starting off, I'm going to go with, speaking of my cousin Saucy G, Ahmad Gardner, also known as Sauce Gardner. He's a cornerback out of Cincinnati. He comes in at about 6'3", 190 pounds is what they're calling him at. He ran a 4.4. He has like hardly any flaws. I mean, he's got everything. He's more of a zone coverage type of guy, but he can play man. He gets a bit grabby at times. I mean, that's the only thing that's not always the best because he tries to ball hawk. He kind of jump routes and shit every now and then. They said he's known for kind of sometimes in zone though, giving a little bit too much room. But I mean, if you watch this kid play, he was a fucking stud. I mean, he was fantastic. He's a good tackler. So I mean, he's really a well-rounded corner in my opinion. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
I would love for my New York Jets to take him at number 4. It ain't happening.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Sauce Gardner is in my opinion the best corner on the board there. You know, there's extenuating circumstances putting Derek Stingley also in front of him too, potentially. But I would take Sauce right now as the top corner of the draft.
My only knock real quick on Sauce Gardner is I don't know if he's really a true shutdown corner. I don't know if he's that, but he is an all-round fucking fantastic corner.
Yeah. I would bet my money that you know, if the Jets, if the Seahawks, if the Falcons took him in the first round in the top 10, they got a lockdown corner for the next 5-10 years. Who's number 2 for you?
Number 2 for me, I'm going to stay back in the secondary, and I'm going to go Kyle Hamilton, safety at Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah.
6'4", 220. He's a big body. He didn't apparently test too great at the combine. I didn't really actually follow him at the combine, but apparently he didn't test that great. But this guy's lightning fast on the field, like sideline to sideline. He shows it on the field, and his only thing that he's got to work on. He's great at like stopping the run, and he's great, but he sometimes bites on the screens. He bites on the RPOs. He's got to get a little bit more educated on how to read the offense a little better. But I mean, to me, that's something easy he can work on. You get a pro in there to teach him how to fucking read the field, teach him what to look for, little things here and there. He gets more comfortable. This kid's gonna be a stud.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll talk about him in about 5 minutes because he's on my list. He's unbelievable. Yeah, he didn't test great. He ran a 4.59 40, you know, at the combine. He does not look like a 4.59 guy on tape though. Who's number 3?
I got Nakobe Dean, a linebacker out of Georgia, and I gotta be honest with you. The one thing I've noticed, I mean, I watched plenty of college football this year, especially Georgia football, obviously. But I just can't believe when I was kind of like putting my list together and who I like and who I don't like, how fucking good this Georgia defense was. Literally, I could have put the whole Georgia team on here and been like my top 5. But anyway, this kid, he's 5'11", 226. All right, now I'm going to get your opinion on this. So he's a little undersized. And a lot of people are saying he's going to be overlooked because of his size, but his football IQ, he's a quick little bastard. Even though 5'11", he's the same height as me. But I'm not personally comparing him to like a Ray Lewis type of guy, but that's another guy who was judged on his size. This kid's going to get stronger. This kid knows how to get to the QB. He's going to be a dangerous, I think, outside linebacker. I think that's where he needs to be in the NFL. But I mean, in my opinion, this is the kind of guy that. There's little things, put a little size on, get a little more comfortable, and he's going to be a fucking stud. You can't look at him and be like he's too small. I don't think that's a major factor in this NFL, do you?
No, and you just picked another guy off my list, and I'll go into him a little bit later as well. This kid, like you just said, when you watch Georgia on defense, when you watch the fucking Bulldog defense, yeah, I mean, you can say, hey, Alabama used to be like this. They got a stud at every spot, and how do you pick out this guy to that guy? And they're all playing together. They all look fast together. No. Nakobe Dean,
he flashes.
Was the fucking lightning bolt of that defense, okay? And it wasn't anybody else that made him look like that. I mean, this kid goes from sideline to sideline. Unbelievable linebacker. I'll give you my comp to him in a couple minutes. Another great pick by you. Who's number 4?
All right, so this is a guy that some people think isn't going to be picked in the first round. He might slip to the second based on like arm length and size as well. Tyler Linderbaum, the center at Iowa, 6'3", 292. What, you think he's a dud?
No, stud, absolutely.
Oh! I thought you said dud. I was like,
no.
out of your fucking mind.
No,
you out of your fucking tits.
Stud.
So here's my whole thing on him, and this is what I've been kind of putting together in the last couple years that we've been diving into the draft a little deeper than when we were casually just watching. Is this kid smart as hell? He moved from D tackle to center only a few years ago. And even though he doesn't have the best size and strength right now, he finds leverage. He knows how to finish blocks. He's got a high motor. They say he's very mature. To me, that tells me a couple things. One, usually the center is like the leader on the offensive line. He's like one of the captains of the squad.
Yep.
So to be mature is already a good thing. But also it tells me if you got the ability to if you got the motor and you don't quit, dude, anyone can fucking get in the gym. Anyone can get in Rocco B's gym and his powerlifting gym and learn how to get big and we be lifting.
We be in there. Tyler Linderbaum, Rocco B, Scotty G, we be lifting.
So I'm just telling you, I mean, to me, that's a guy that if all you're worried about is he's not strong enough, I mean, I understand they say his arm length's not the greatest, but like this guy barely like he doesn't know the position as well as half these other guys. And the what he's showing already, to me, the ceiling is through the roof.
Yeah, he's already had 24 bench presses at the combine. You know, that's not bad at all. That's kind of middle of the road. And again, at the center position, you don't need 38-inch arms. All right, he's got a 31 and a quarter arm length. You know, and that's not. You know, if you compare him to the guards and you compare him to other tackles, you know, you're talking 34, 35, 36 inch length of arm. That's that's fucking crazy. You know, you got to still snap the ball. You know, you don't need to be fucking Mr. Lurch at center. So
Lurch.
You know, you watch
Rock,
his tape, man. He's a fucking stud.
Rock, real quick too. When's the last time we've had like a stud center come out in the draft? I feel like every year it's about a tackle.
Yeah,
I mean guard here and there, guard, tackle. No, I haven't heard a legit center come out in God knows how long.
Well, let's see. The Colts, they drafted that kid Ryan Kelly from Alabama like 4 years ago. And then you had, the Cowboys took Travis Frederick in the first round. He was a fucking all-pro.
But how long ago was that now?
That was 2011, I believe.
Yeah,
so,
10 years ago?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's like the last big name I can think of.
This kid is definitely a first-round kid for sure. Who's number 5?
All right. Another one that I'm not sure is going to make the first round, but I wouldn't be mad if my Jets took him late in the first round. Kenneth Walker, running back out of Michigan State.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't even have him as the number one running back. He's like 2 or 3. Sometimes some people even have him further down. But this guy is a fucking bull in a china shop that fucking you can't touch. He's 5'9", 211. He's not only like a stud and he's hard to tackle and bring down and he's a hell of a runner, but the guy also logged 1,058 yards in receiving along with 15 touchdowns.
Yeah, this kid, unbelievable. It's a great pick because, like you said, as we'll talk about a little bit later as well when we talk about our favorite guys, you know, Breece Hall right now is number 1, right? But everyone forgets about Kenneth Walker III. You know, he was a stud at Wake Forest, transferred over to Michigan State. And if you watch this kid all year and then you watch his highlights and all that stuff, he's like a fucking – it's like he's playing a video game.
He just runs angry, dude.
He runs angry. If you get him in a hole, he's literally like boop, 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 boop. Like he'll make 4 moves in a row. You didn't even see him. And then he runs you over. So, you know, I love him too.
Kid ran a 4.38.
I love this kid. And you know, it sucks that the fucking running back position is being so devalued because these guys, Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker, would be bona fide studs in the first round every year, you know, going 5 years and before that. So, but he'll probably be a second-round pick. You're probably right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad about it as long as my Jets get him some way, somehow.
And do you have a salacious sick?
Andrew Booth Jr., another cornerback out of Clemson.
Yeah.
6 foot, 194 pounds. This guy's a great tackler. He's more of a run stopper. He's a great man coverage guy. He needs to get better at zone, which, you know, a lot of teams are running zone now, so it's going to be maybe a harder transition with the NFL, but still, he's a solid player, man. And as long as he can kind of get a little better and kind of sharpen his tools, I mean, he can really make someone's secondary a hell of a lot better because, like I've told you before, there aren't a lot of fucking good corners in the NFL right now. There's only a handful of legit corners, in my opinion, that really make a difference in that secondary for these teams.
So let me ask you a question. So if you're going with the Jets having 3 picks, in your heart of hearts, you really believe they trade what?
Trade what? What are you talking about?
You trade their
the fuck
10.
You talking about?
You trade their 4. They trade the 10. What, you know, they trade back in. They trade their 2 second-round picks. What do they do?
So I think if they can, they're trading that 10 back.
Okay.
And they might trade
like
with
to the Saints or Philly.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So if
that's what
the
I
case,
think's gonna happen.
If that's the case, they got number 4, they got number 16, and they got number 18.
Yep.
Say number 4 ain't sauce. You telling me that you would take in one of those 16 or 18s, you'd take Andrew Booth?
Yeah, I'd consider it.
Yeah. Well, then I think that's a play. You don't have to.
I mean,
take
what do you
sauce
think?
that
I mean,
high.
it depends on who's still on the board. You know what I mean? But like, if you really, really need which the Jets do, if you really, really need a corner, which we'll get to my bust or my potential bust, I wouldn't fucking touch fucking Stingley. I wouldn't touch Derek Stingley with a fucking. With your dick.
With someone else's dick, huh?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Nobody wants to touch mine, I'll tell you that. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I believe, in my heart of hearts, that Sauce Gardner, even though the best corner on the board, I think he's too rich at 4, and I think he's going to be too rich for the Jets. And I don't think the Jets will get him at 4. They'd have to be lucky to get him at 10, I believe. I don't think they're going to bite at him at 4. So what I'm saying is if you keep 4 and you think that you're going to trade back at 10 and you're going to get either the Eagles, 15 and 18, and then you're going to get the Saints 16 and 19, and if that's where you think you're going to go, then Booth could be one of those guys, and I think that'd be a home run.
I don't think it wouldn't be a bad play, right?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Then you get receiver with the other one. You'll be absolutely straight with the receiver plus Booth, and then on top of the best pass rusher at 4. So I like that. That's your salacious 6. I like it. You got Sauce Gardner, Kyle Hamilton, Nakobe Dean, Tyler Linderbaum, Kenneth Walker III, and Andrew Booth. I think it'll be a stretch for Walker to get in the first round, but who the fuck knows? He is.
I agree.
That good.
I agree.
He is that good. Now, let me get to Rocco B's no doubt standouts of the first round. Let's piggyback off the 2 guys that you picked first. Let's go to Nakobe Dean, right? Like you said, undersized guy, Butkus Award winner, so that's the best linebacker in college. He is lightning, like I said, from side down the sideline. But here's the thing. You're trying to find a comp. Who does he look like? To me, when I watch him, compared to the guy I remember watching that flashed off your fucking screens a couple years ago as a college linebacker, think of Nakobe Dean as a leaner Devin White. This kid is the same player. He literally will tackle everything, and he's going to go from sideline to sideline, and he's going to blitz. I mean, he's literally Devin White, just a little leaner.
I love me some Devin White, and that's what I was saying. This kid could turn into be even more of an edge rusher, even if his size becomes an issue.
Yeah,
because he can just go after the quarterback.
Yeah, he is a stud, and he's not going to be just a product of the Georgia defense. He is a leader. He's a guy you can build on, and if he drops past New England at 21, I would be fucking absolutely shocked. Absolutely shocked.
They're saying the Jets might possibly take him at 10.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, he's a fucking stud. But again, some of these mocks have him going at the back end of the first round. I think it's fucking insane. Now, number 2 is Kyle Hamilton. I'm going to piggyback off of yours as well. This kid is so fast. He will hit you. He will pick the ball off. To me, he is a better prospect than Isaiah Simmons was. And Isaiah Simmons got picked 8th by the Arizona Cardinals in 2020. This kid is the same size, but he plays better on tape, and he's going to be an actual safety. He's not going to fuck around at linebacker. Yeah. He will be your free safety. He's a top 5 player to me. If he's not drafted in the top 5, I'll be shocked.
Let me ask you this, though, real quick. Do you think, like these safeties, do you think they're really that valuable?
Yeah.
I mean, do you think they're valuable other than having them for like 2-3 years and then trade them for like 3 or 4 picks so that you can draft your whole squad like my Jets did?
Listen, man. I know exactly where you were going with that. And here's the thing, and we'll talk about Marcus May a little later. And you just alluded to Jamal Adams. Just imagine, okay? Imagine if you didn't have to go out and pay a guy like Jordan Whitehead. Just imagine if you could have that guy like a Jamal Adams or a Marcus May for the first 4 or 5 years of their rookie fucking deal, and then you got to pay him instead of we let those guys go and now we have to pay another big guy to come on in. To me, safety, even though Matthew is an older guy now, he was so sought after in his fucking prime. Ed Reed, Roy Williams. I mean, you can go along the whole Cam Chancellor and the Legion of Boom. Safety is a huge piece of these teams that win Super Bowls. And to me, I wouldn't even fucking bat an eye if Detroit and the kneecap biting fucking Lions took him at number 2. I wouldn't bat an eye. That's how good this kid's going to be. That's number 2. Number 3 is again, I love this kid all last year watching it, and then he fucking flashed like crazy in the college football playoffs in those 2 games. And now he's the hottest fucking name. He's the hot bitch on the fucking scene right now is Trayvon Walker. Trayvon Walker, I don't know if he should be the number 1 pick, but damn, this kid's good. And Jordan Davis gets all the love, and Devontae Wyatt gets some love. It does make sense that Trayvon Walker now is getting a lot of love, but he might be getting too much. But he's a damn good player.
I agree with you, and he was on my seductive 7 if I had one. So yeah, he was going to be on there, but here's the deal. What makes me nervous is I feel like this guy is not worthy of a top 5 pick, in my opinion. They're talking the Jets might take him at 4.
Well,
They're talking the Jets are in love with this guy because they think he's going to get a D. They're going to get a D lineman, and he's one of the names that's being brought up. Now, should I be worried?
Here's what this kid is. They're comparing him to Micah Parsons. I wouldn't say he's Micah Parsons, but I'll tell you he's got a little Micah Parsons in him, but he's also got a lot of Leonard Williams in him. And I would take Leonard Williams in the top 5.
I wouldn't. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Took him to number 6.
You just couldn't fucking sign him, right? I mean, he played a lot better with the Giants. I think he's
worth a top 6 pick.
He's a great player. I think he's playing in a bad defense. I think he's playing in a 3-4 defense. He's not a 3-4 tackle. He should be in a 4-3 fucking defense. He's not that like that. I don't believe he was in a 4-3 with the Jets either. So I think if you put Trayvon Walker on a fucking 4-3, I think Trayvon Walker is a fucking nasty physical freak that he comes up real big in big ass games. So I would take him for sure in the first round and in the top 10 for sure. Here's a guy that is on my Dallas Cowboys radar and well deserved because this guy, in my opinion, is the best offensive lineman that's out there. And it's Zion Johnson from Boston College. 6'3", 316 pounds. Put up 32 fucking reps at 225 on a bench press. If you look at the guy, he's 316 pounds. He looks like he doesn't really have body fat. He's not like a Kenyon Green, who we'll get into a little later.
So he's like the opposite of the other Zion?
He's
like
the
complete opposite?
Oh, well, you had to go there. You had to zing me with the other Zion. This kid is so smart. He builds computers, they say, on his downtime. Okay,
is that what they say?
That's what they say.
Bill Gates over there.
He's Mr. Bill Gates, Zion
Elon
Johnson.
Musk is where.
But here's what gets me. Here's what gets me excited. Okay, he had 0, and I'm telling you 0 quarterback pressures last year. 0.
That sounds great.
All right, and he's played all fucking positions on the offensive line. Sign me up right now. We will plop you in at left guard, and you're going to start for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's take him, number 24. Zion Johnson.
Yeah, for his sake, let's hope he goes to Dallas and not New Orleans with all that gumbo and all that other shit.
Oh, Christ. Now, number 5. Let's stick in the Johnson family, shall we? And I'm not talking about what I got downstairs. Now, it's Jermaine Johnson, 6'5", 262, Florida State. He had 12 sacks last year. A little bit of an issue. He started at community college. He had 1.9 GPA, and then he got to Georgia, where he was at for a couple years, and then he transferred for his senior year to Florida State. But he does play the run as well. I believe this kid is the best edge rusher in the draft. I think he will pass rush like fucking mad, and he's also going to play the run. And he came to the Senior Bowl, and he dominated. He dominated all the big names that were there. He was the one who stood out as the defensive end of defensive ends. Think of him as a poor man's Julius Peppers, in my opinion. Jermaine Johnson from Florida State is going to be a nasty, nasty pass rusher in this league, and I think he could go as high as 5 or 7 to the New York Giants. That's what I think.
Well, there's some people saying the Jets like him, too. He's one of the top. It's him and Trayvon Walker for D-line. Him, Walker, and Thibodeau. Or is it Thibodeau or Thibodeau? I don't know how to say the guy's fucking name.
Yeah,
but those are the three. Those are the 3 D linemen mentioned for the Jets.
Yeah, again, I think it just depends on what your boy Bobby Saleh from the Bronx is going to want. But let's just hope that that they don't have to send Thibodeau back. That's all I have to fucking say. But my last guy, all right, my number 6 of the fucking salacious 6, no doubt standouts, is a guy from Ocean Township, New Jersey, right down the street, basically, from where we grew up. His name is Kenny Pickett, quarterback from Pittsburgh.
Oh, God.
This guy.
You had to throw a quarterback in there.
This guy is
Can we
getting
go 1 year without talking about quarterbacks?
Fucking shit on. I can't believe that this kid,
My balls are bigger than this guy's hands. That's all I know. Baby hand Pickett.
I understand. He's got the hands that you want the broads to have. You get the real tiny hands, makes the old schlajol fucking look huge. But hey, he's got the gloves on. Didn't look like it fucking affected him on tape at Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh, fucking doesn't have the best weather in the world. So, didn't slip out of his hands there. This kid is athletic. He's fucking sneaky fast. He can run around. He's got an accurate and an underrated arm, in my opinion. The knock on him, right, with Kenny Pickett is not only is my cock bigger than his hand, but he's a 5-year developer, right? It took him 5 years to finally get to what we saw last year as, holy shit, this guy could be the best quarterback of this draft, right?
You could be
the best. Now, here's the thing. So, Scotty, I thought about it, and I said, okay, that is a good point. You know, you go back to 2020, he only had 13 touchdowns and 9 picks, right? And then, of course, you get to this fucking year, 42 touchdowns, only 7 picks, and now everyone's talking about him as the best quarterback. But people are like, I don't know, man. He was there for 5 years. It took so long, blah, blah. I picked 2 guys out that I don't know. I mean, you're going to have to tell me.
Joe Burrow, I know.
I think these guys turned out okay. Let's go with Joe Burrow first, shall we? Because he's the most recent. He goes from 2018 at LSU, 16 tutties with fucking 5 interceptions, right? Okay. And then he, of course, has the best season of all time. Okay, it's the best. It was huge. 60 touchdowns and 6 picks in 2019 and win a national championship. There was another guy, though. I'm not sure if anybody's heard of him. Peyton Manning. That's right. Peyton Manning.
Never heard of him.
1996. Very pedestrian year. He had fucking 20 touchdowns and 12 interceptions in 1996. If you remember in 97, his last fucking year there, when they won they went to the national championship and then he got drafted, of course, number 1 the next year, 36 touchdowns to 11 picks. A huge jump, and bang, he goes number 1, and thank God Ryan Leaf didn't go number 1. But see, to me, that's not an issue. You look at his tape, you look at the throws he makes. He is a pro-ready quarterback. His hands are going to grow, his dick is going to grow, and his body's going to grow.
25, he can keep growing to 25.
So he's going to keep going, and he's an Ocean Township, New Jersey boy. He's going to work. He's just got to, like every other fucking quarterback, he's got to go into the right system. And I believe that there's a head coach there that loved him since he was in high school, and I think that's where he's going to go.
Quick trivia question. In 1997, when Peyton Manning was supposed to come out to the draft before, he waited till next year, do you know who had the number 1 pick that year he was supposed to come out? A little trivia question. I mean, it's probably hard to guess.
Now,
I was 32 options.
Let me
guess.
Let me just see. Does it have anything to do with Trevor Lawrence as well? Are we going to Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson as well?
No, because the Jets didn't have the first pick. The Jets fucked that up themselves. They would have taken Trevor Lawrence.
Sure.
But the Jets had the first pick in 97, and jerk-off Peyton Manning said, you know what, I'm going to go back into college.
Do you blame him?
Yeah.
Do you blame him? You blame the son of a bitch?
Fucking guy. That was our turn. It was our turn.
Yeah, I don't really look at this Pickett thing and say, oh fuck, he took 5 years to develop. We can't take him. He's got a low ceiling. Give me a fucking break with those dumbass fucking terms, ceiling and floor and blah blah blah. But there was our no doubt standout, Scotty boy. I got a feeling that Bus City is going to be somewhere that you don't want to drive into with us. I'm excited to hear what you got. Bus City, who is it?
So for my first guy in Bus City, I got your boy, Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon, edge rusher, 6'4", 254.
Why don't you like this son of a bitch?
One word I got to say, Clowney. That's what he reminds me of. Everyone compares him to Clowney. I don't want nothing to do with him. Yeah. They're saying he's linked to the Jets. I want nothing to do with him. You know what they're saying? They're saying this guy's either going to be a massive bust because they're questioning his love for football. They're questioning his motor. He is more often than not out of position and will make up for it with his freak physical ability, which doesn't work in the NFL, by the way. I don't know if anyone knows that, but all these things, they say he's either going to be a massive bust or he's going to be the next J.J. Watt, and he's going to be a stud. Now, if my Jets take him, what do you think the odds are he's going to be J.J. Watt? Not very good.
Well, listen,
let's stay away from Thibodeau.
Listen,
Thibodeau. I don't give a fuck what his name is. Don't touch him.
Thibodeau. I really think that honestly, he's on my list as well. But we'll get into him a little bit later. But as a pro, as a good thing for you, Scotty, as a Jet fan, if he does go number 4, the one guy that I think I would feel comfortable with taking a guy like Thibodeau to fucking rein him in is Bobby Saleh from the Bronx. So that's one thing you got going for you. But if he went to a team like, that Adam Gase was coaching or Todd Bowles was coaching, then fucking forget about it. But I think Bobby Saleh can maybe get the best out of him. We'll see.
He's going to be like a guy we just picked up called Solomon Thomas. Another fucking
We'll get
top
into that
5
again.
pick.
The
Bust.
San Francisco 49ers East is what the Jets are turning into. But all right, who's your number 2?
I got your boy Evan Neal. This isn't in any order, by the way. I don't have. You might have yours in order. I don't have mine in any order. I'm just speaking when I'm speaking. You know, Evan Neal. I think I just hang out with you too much, man. I'm biased against these Alabama linemen. He's 6'7", 337. He is a mountain of a man.
Mountain of a man.
But here's the deal. What is the key nowadays in the NFL? It is literally the key for any offensive, honestly, any position in general, but definitely offensive lineman. What is the one thing we all talk about and the one thing we're all amazed at is how these big-ass motherfuckers have such amazing footwork. They're light on their feet. They can move. They're agile, all these things. You know what this guy is? Terrible footwork. He's not fluid at all. He's stiff in the hips, stiff in the legs. The guy can't fucking move like you want him to. And it works in college because half the guys are, 6'2", 270 pounds. You literally have all the leverage and weight over them. It ain't going to be like that in the NFL. 6'7" is still pretty fucking big, don't get me wrong. But the low man wins on the offensive line. Like, it almost makes it harder for him. So, in my opinion, that is going to bust out.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I have to say really anything yet because I believe we all know what this segment is called. So we'll get to Evan Neal in a little while. Who's your number 3?
I got your boy Jermaine Johnson. So I have a different view on this.
All right.
So I hope if the Jets take him, he's a stud like you say, and he's unreal. But here's my issue with this fucking guy. At 6'4", 259, he's a big boy on the D-line. He's great against the run. He's actually was rated the number 1 defensive end against the run. He's very explosive on his first. The best. You guys, man business. I mean, he was not only he's very explosive on his first step, but the whole thing is first off, he's not, his pass rush isn't the greatest, and he consistently, I know it was different in the playoffs, but consistently has had issues, or the Senior Bowl, but he consistently has issues with big tackles, big offensive linemen that he goes against. He consistently has issues having the proper technique to get to the quarterback. I mean, if you're a defensive end or a defensive lineman and you can't get to the quarterback and you're having issues with bigger guys in college, what is that going to happen in the NFL? Now, I agree. You can learn technique. You can get better at that. I'm not saying you can't, but it gives me cause to pause and makes me wonder, is this guy really worth a top 5, top 10, or even first round pick? Because he might be more of a project than we're actually believing.
There is a beautiful, hilarious episode of Seinfeld that is centered around Kramer and George Costanza's father, and they are going into business with each other, and they've created a certain product.
The bro?
Well, I'd like to say man's ear. And what I'm trying to say is you're out of your tits. Your tits are leaking. You're fucking out of your mind. If you watch this guy, anything you want to watch, he is literally tearing up quarterbacks, stripping them, sacking them, taking the fucking ball, going to the end zone. Out of your tits. You're going to go need to talk to Frank Costanza.
He has a lot of issues with getting by a big offensive lineman.
Well, and right now you got a lot of issues not putting your big man's ear on because your tits are out, and that's all I got to say. Number 4.
So I had 2 corners on my standout, whatever.
Oh, the No Doubt standouts. Yes, thank you for paying attention.
So, so I got 2 corners on my No Doubt standouts, whatever the hell you call it. I got one also on my Bus City, and that's our boy Derek Stingley Jr. Here's my deal with him. I'm just confused. I'm very confused, and confusion when it comes to the NFL draft makes me scared. When I'm scared, I stay away. I'm not going to touch you. To me, if I'm a GM, I'm going to take safe picks, or I'm going to take maybe 1 or 2 gambles. So if Stingley's in the 3rd round or 2nd round, mid-2nd round or early 3rd round, if he's there, yeah, I might. I'll probably take a chance on him if I need secondary. 1st round, I'm not touching this guy. Now, would I be shocked if the Jets took him? No. Would I be shocked if the Eagles took him? No. Would I be shocked if a team like the Cowboys took him? No. But At the end of the day, this guy scares the shit out of me because he was no doubt the number one corner coming out of college, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever it was. And then COVID happened and he didn't play. Then he comes back and just gets hurt and sucks. So you tell me, man, what are your thoughts on this kid?
Well, you hit another one that is, you've hit now 3 out of 4 that are on my bust list.
Oh,
and yeah, so we will get into him in a minute.
I'll wait then. I didn't realize I was getting so many of your guys.
You know, I'll tell you what. I mean, we're thinking alike, which is fucking a little scary to me. But that was number 4 for you, Derek Stingley, which we will talk about in a second. Who's number 5?
Drake London.
Oh boy, Dr. Tomas is a favorite.
He's gotten to me. Dr. Tomas got to me, man. He got to me, and what I mean by that, for those who are listening, is Rock over here was asking me for some lotion so we can go fucking jerk off Drake London over here. And Dr. Tomas was saying, hell no, don't touch that guy. And the reason being, and you know, I've fallen into this disagreement with Dr. Tomas, which is unheard of. Me and Dr. Tomas agreeing, it's like cats and dogs living in harmony. It doesn't make sense. So what I'm saying is, this guy, he ain't it. He ain't it. He's a big body receiver, and yeah, he's got hands. And I know some people like to compare him to Mike Evans, but the guy's got no hips. The hips don't lie, my friend. The hips don't lie. The guy can't move. He literally has made his living off of jump balls with no separation. If you're not getting separation in college, what the fuck you think's gonna happen in the NFL? You're damn near gonna have fucking 3 guys literally on top of you. If that's the case, you can't get separation in college? College? We're talking college?
Here's the thing. So you're telling me that Dr. Tomas and now Scotty G are saying basically that Drake London is the next coming of JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Is that what you're saying? That's who he is? JJ Arcega-Whiteside? Is that what you're saying?
Tomas did this to himself because he pre-ejaculated this information. So I'm just gonna spew it without him. I'm gonna load boost it on us.
Let me get a fucking tissue. Hold on.
So let me just explain this real quick. There's a thing that comes out with the top wide receiver seasons by percent of receptions coming on contested catches, not including screens.
If anybody can follow that, but go ahead.
Yeah. Not including screens. The top 5 guys that are in this list. Number 1, N'Keal Harry. Not very good.
Terrible.
Number 2, JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
Terrible.
Number 3, Jalen Reagor.
Terrible.
I love how the fucking Eagles got 2 of these guys.
Howie Roseman, baby.
Number 4, Drake London.
Oh.
Number 5, I don't want to say it, but his name's Denzel Mims.
Oh.
So that is terrible company to be in.
It is.
Now, I don't know if that means anything.
That hurts.
But between what I've seen, between Dr. Tomas and between this little stat that was provided by the doctor, the prescription the doctor gave me,
yep,
it scares me. And I'll tell you what, there's another guy that's attached to the Jets.
Well, here's what I'm going to say.
So what you're telling me is the whole fucking Jets draft is going to be a bust.
Nah, here's what I'm going to say with the Jets.
Fucking just call it a season now.
I want to, number 1, he ain't fucking JJ Arcega-Whiteside. He's just not that player, number 1, because JJ Arcega-Whiteside wasn't a fucking stud Mr. fucking basketball in the state that he played in high school and in college, okay? He could have played, he could have went to the NBA draft in the first round this year as well, this fucking kid, Drake London. Here's the thing. He may not be Mike Evans speed-wise, but he's got the same body. He goes up and gets the ball. He's got unbelievable ball skills. And if he's attached to your New York Jets, let's just go back 1 year, shall we? 365 days, Scotty G. When we watched tape on Zach Wilson, what the fuck did that guy do at BYU? Do you remember? He rolled out. He rolled his little skinny ass to the left. He rolled his little skinny ass to the right. And he threw the fucking ball up, and his receivers went and made plays. That is exactly what our boy Drake London does. If you get him at 10, if you get him at 16, if you get him at 18, whatever the fuck it is, he is the perfect piece for Zach Wilson. Don't give me Garrett Wilson. Don't give me Chris Olave, some of these smaller receivers that, you know, you need to be pinpoint accurate with.
I like Garrett Wilson.
Drake London, throw the ball up, and the guy's going to come down with it, okay? Now, do you have a salacious 6 here, or do I get on stage here?
I got one.
Oh.
But I'm nervous to say it.
Okay.
It's going to be controversial.
I can't wait. Let's go.
Don't judge me. Don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, and don't you just listen. The number one receiver before he got injured was going to probably be Jameson Williams. He still could be the number one receiver out of Alabama at 6'1", 189 pounds. He might be a bust.
Another guy who's linked to the New York Jets that could be your speedster down the field. This is where you're going?
Here's my deal. And he might turn out to be okay. He might just have to be. So here's my thing with Jameson Williams. He's kind of getting portrayed as this kid who can do it all almost. I don't think in the NFL it's going to be a thing. So he has issues with any kind of whenever he gets pressed, he doesn't do well. He has issues in the middle sometimes. He's good on like long deep posts. He's good on like slants and shit like that, which is great. But
you're worried he's a one-trick pony. You're worried he's just down the field. Let me say this. Let me say this.
Yeah. Let me say this. I feel like he might not be a bust. Maybe that's a little too much to put him in my salacious 6. But he's definitely, I feel like, overrated as the number one receiver.
Okay.
Because I feel like he has some issues on things that when you hit the NFL, that's gonna be daily, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, you're basically telling me he's a one-trick pony. He's the next coming of Will Fuller. And you're also telling me that I really fucked up and really should have said, hey, if you play at Alabama, I don't give a shit whether you're an offensive lineman or a wide receiver. You're fucking on this list, baby. You know.
Hey, I will say, though, what's his name? Smith from last year still looks pretty good so far. So I'll give Dr. Tomas that.
Yeah, Devontae Smith. You are, I'll tell you what, you are pissing a lot of people off in your family. And, and I'm here for it. Now, let's. No, I'm going to tell you what, okay? There's a reason why I named this fucking segment. You might as well be an Alabama offensive lineman. I don't know if I really have to go into the 13 Nick Saban era Alabama offensive line.
No,
bus.
we've already done that before.
We've already done it.
Refer back to episode whatever it was, 13 or whatever the fuck.
Thank you, okay? There's only 2 guys that have fucking made it. Ryan Kelly, the center, and Bradley Bozeman, the center. No fucking tackles, no guards have made it from fucking Alabama. And my number one guy on the Bus City bus is Evan Neal, Alabama offensive lineman. 6'7", 350, All-American. Everything points to best team, basically, best offensive lineman, All-American, biggest motherfucker, can move, can block, can do this, can do that. He's an Alabama offensive lineman, All-American with double knee braces. Enough said. He is not going to pan out in the NFL. He could go as high as 1, folks. I really can see the Jacksonville Jaguars taking this motherfucker at number 1 because what is the goal of the new Doug Peterson regime? Protect Trevor Lawrence. It's not rush the passer. It's not let's go get the next Aldon Smith. Let's go get this. Let's go get that. It's protect Trevor Lawrence. Evan Neal can go number 1, and I think it'd be a huge mistake. Number 2, Kayvon Thibodeau. This kid was the consensus number 1 pick in the past 2 years when he was ever going to come out. Well, he's out, and he ain't going to be number 1. There's too much, like you said earlier, too much smoke with the whole taking football for granted, and it ain't his number 1 thing. You know, you've seen the times he's taking the plays off. He does have, a thinner build. He's not gigantic. He's not huge. He's long, but he's not huge. I think he's a 4-3 end. I don't think he's a 3-4 outside linebacker. I don't think he's covering anybody. And here, to me, Scotty, is the biggest reason why I'm fucking worried about Thibodeau, especially for your New York Jets in number 4. It was a huge game, absolutely huge game early in the season last year. It was Oregon, the fucking Duckies, versus the Buckies, okay, the Ohio State Buckeyes. And Oregon pulled the fucking upset on the road in the Horseshoe, and they owned Ohio State. I believe it was the second or third game of the season.
Hey, wait. It's the Ohio State, just so you know.
That's what they'd like to think. And I'm going to tell you what, okay? There's a guy that didn't play in that game. And you're going to tell me that Kayvon Thibodeau is such a fucking stud, such a team changer. You take a guy in the top 5, he's got to change the culture, change the trajectory of your fucking team where it's going. You're going to tell me that Oregon beats Ohio State at Ohio State without even Kayvon Thibodeau playing a fucking snap? Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean,
come on, man.
I got 2 things here. 1, I agree with you, and that is alarming. 2, what's this kid's background? Where's his?
He's from L.A., man.
Okay. So why is it Thibodeau? Why is it not Thibodeau? I don't get it. I don't understand the pronunciation of this guy's name. I don't get it.
Well, he does have an X in there as well, so it must be a little bit Cajun, and we all know
Cajun?
that Cajun, the whole Cajun thing doesn't make any sense. Kind of like my number 3 guy down in the Bayou, Mr. Cajun himself, Derek Stingley. Okay? Derek Stingley is another guy, like you said. We matched him up on our bus list. I love the Bayou,
by the way.
Here's the thing. You understand he takes off 2020 for COVID, right? Get it. His freshman year, they win a national championship, undefeated, all that. And then Stingley, everyone's talking about. All these guys on that team were like, oh, my God, they're going to be such studs in the NFL, blah, blah. Stingley's only a freshman. Here he comes, blah, blah, blah. 0 picks and only 6 pass breakups since his freshman year, okay? Where'd he go? Okay, so that's, to me, very alarming, just like you said before. Very alarming. He can go as high as 4 to the Jets. Yeah, he'll trade up. He'll be a Morris Claiborne again. That's the problem with this kid, is that you don't know. He played really 2 years, and 1 year he didn't show up. So I would really, 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 really have a tough time believing that, let's believe in his pro day and his combine where they're saying he's got the best feet they've ever seen, and this is the best corner prospect they've seen since fucking Revis and all this other shit. Well, where was it on the field? I'm going from the tape. I don't give a fuck what you do in shorts. So Derek Stingley's my number 3. I would stay away from him with anybody else's dick except Scotty G's. Now, number 4. This guy is getting so much pub, and I've watched games with this guy because he's kind of local, local. And I see his highlights and more film that I haven't seen of him, and I'm like, what is it about this guy? George Karlaftis from fucking Purdue, right? Defensive end, 6'4", 275. Doesn't look like that on tape. I think he's even smaller than that, way smaller. He's a one-dimensional bull rusher to me. Very stiff, doesn't have any moves. And a lot of his highlights, quote-unquote, or his big plays are unblocked. So who gives a fuck what he does when he's unblocked? You think, how many times is he going to be unblocked in the NFL? Tell me that, okay? And how many times do you think you're going to bull rush a tackle like fucking Tyron Smith, or a tackle like Jason Peters, or fucking Lane Johnson, or name any of these fucking big name Orlando
bull rushing
Brown.
Does not work in the NFL very often.
It's not going to happen. He is going to be a bust if he goes in the first round. He's going to be another fucking Dwight Smith, or fucking one of these fucking pass rushers that gets taken out of nowhere, and you're like, who the fuck is this guy? And this guy's getting so much pub for no reason, in my opinion. He will be a role player at best in the league. Number 5, Kenyon Green. He is a guard from Texas A&M. People are saying he's the best guard.
Why are you picking on the offensive lineman?
The thing about this guy is you know me. I like to look at a guy and say, all right, what does he look like? To me, I think I can tell how
you like to look at guys. I get it. You like to.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You like to observe guys and see what you like and what you don't like. I get it.
Sure. Okay. Now
there's nothing wrong with that.
When I'm prospecting,
he's got a big caboose.
When I'm prospecting, the problem with it is you know me, I'm a tit guy. You'd think I'd love this guy because this guy has about triple E's, in my opinion, and they bounce. And to me, that tells me something. And it tells me that you are not in prime physical shape for the NFL. And to me, you look at this guy compared to a guy like Zion Johnson, it's like you're looking at fucking a female and a male almost. Yet, I don't know if we even know what those are anymore. But, the fact that this guy only did 20 reps of 225 on a bench press as a 325-pound man that's supposed to throw people around, when Zion Johnson did 32, no thanks. And the fact that he's got penalty after penalty after penalty because he's grabbing people because he's not strong enough probably in his upper body. No. So Dallas, please stay away from this guy. He's played all the fucking positions at Texas A&M. People love him on the line, all that. But when you get to the NFL, it's the cream of the fucking crop, okay? You're not blocking a fucking 4.0 GPA that's only playing because he loves it and he knows that he's done after his senior year. You're playing professionals. Kenyon Green ain't going to fucking make it. Now, my number 6. Oh, boy. You want to talk about controversial? You want to talk about what am I talking about? Number 6, Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan.
Oh, my God. I was just going to say, we didn't talk about Hutchinson. And I think Hutchinson's a solid guy. You're blowing my fucking mind right now. Hutchinson?
Here we
They're
go.
saying he might be the safest pick in the goddamn draft.
Okay. Now, Bus City, right? I mean, when you come out of college into the draft, and let's just say, you're a TJ Watt that gets drafted 30th, or a JJ Watt that gets more in the middle of the first round, or a Micah Parsons who falls to you at a 12. You don't have such huge expectations coming on. Huge, okay? Aiden Hutchinson will get drafted either by the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Detroit Lions. He will not pass number 2. Guarantee it. Put it down. Bet it right now. This guy will not live up to those expectations. He is, like you just said, he is solid. I've watched every Michigan game this year. I was a de facto Michigan fan. They were a great defensive team. He is a solid, very good player who I believe has peaked. I don't believe that he's a Hall of Famer. I believe he's going to be solid. He might be Pro Bowler. He's not going to be an All-Pro. He's not going to be a Hall of Famer. And he sure as fuck is not going to live up to guys who get drafted number 1 or number 2 overall. Okay, I have a perfect comparison to this guy. My comp to Hutchinson is a team that I know very well, the Cincinnati Bengals. And you remember a guy, Trey Hendrickson. I really believe that they're the same player. And Trey Hendrickson was drafted in the 3rd round, and now he got his mega deal from Cincinnati. But he is a super solid, double-digit sack, very, 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 very good player. But if you took Trey Hendrickson, fucking 1 or 2, you really think that he's worth it? Hell no. And that's what Hutchinson's going to be. Hutchinson will get you 10 sacks.
You're kind of saying the same thing with me and Jameis Williams. You think he's going to be a solid contributor in the NFL, but to be a top 10, or in this case, top 3 pick is insane.
Absolutely. I think in another year, if there were quarterback years and this guy gets drafted 7th or 8th, it's much better. But
what if he falls to 4? You think Jets should take him?
He's not. Yes, but he's not going there. I mean, he's not going past Detroit. Detroit will take him at 2.
Mr. Knee biting fucking what's his name from Detroit said he's not. He said he don't like him. Mr. Kneecaps ain't taking him.
Well, he said that about Thibodeau.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. So no, he's going. I mean, Detroit. He went to Michigan. It's a home time thing. He's not going.
Yeah, you're right.
He's not going past number 2. So he's gonna fucking not live up to it. He's not Myles Garrett. He's not fucking Von Miller. He's not that.
Can I throw another name at you? Maybe you can compare him to. And it's the same kind of thing with. This is probably more of a Thibodeau kind of comparison. Mario Williams.
Yeah, but the problem with Mario Williams is that he didn't have the production that Hutchinson did. So like Mario Williams was a combine guy. Mario Williams was a senior year guy. Hutchinson's had it for the past 2.5 years. He played and he's had a great year last year. But Mario Williams was a guy nobody was talking about as top 5, and then all of a sudden,
wasn't he taking
pick.
number? Yeah, he was number 1 overall.
Yeah, he's the first pick. But he wasn't. But Hutchinson has more of a background, right? Williams is more of a surprise. Williams is more like Clowney, to be honest, than this situation. But Hutchinson also, in my opinion, doesn't fit Jacksonville. Yeah. Hutchinson's a 4-3 end, right? So he doesn't fit their 3-4 scheme. I think Hutchinson's perfect with Detroit. If I'm Detroit and I love him, I would trade to 1 because it probably doesn't take much to get to Jacksonville's 1, and Jacksonville would do it, I think. And number 2, I don't think Jacksonville's taking Hutchinson, so I think Detroit can sit and take him at 2. But again, he won't live up to that pick as far as maybe the other potential picks that they could get. That would be maybe potentially if it was a quarterback or even a guy like a Sauce Gardner who could potentially be the next Revis. So So that's it, baby. Salacious 6 of the fucking Bus City Bus.
How about this too? A nice little teaser, because if you don't think Hutchinson is going 1, that's saying that number 1 pick is up for grabs. You have no idea who's going. I have no idea who's going, which means our mocks are going to be all over the place.
All over the fucking place, and I can't wait, because it really is going to be. It's going to be the telltale sign of, okay, you're going to be a little lucky, sure, but you also have to have fucking some forethought, and you have to think about, okay, who's the GM? Who's the coach? Who do they already have? Who do they get
What's
in
the
free agency?
scheme?
What's their
What's the
scheme?
scheme?
Exactly. Hutchinson doesn't
the-
fit. He just
What's
doesn't
the
fit.
and it's things like that I feel like aren't talked about enough, and it's like I agree with you.
Look at-
also what the tendency is. Like I've told you outside of the pod, I've told you my reasons behind Sauce not going number 4, and we'll get into that during my mock. But like I mean, there's a lot of valid reasons for a lot of guys going places and not going places, and it's not just because they're a good player or not a good player. There's a lot of different factors, where they're from, their scheme, the type of player they are, the type of GM, the type of coach. All those things play a major role and a major factor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, like we talked about with Thibodeau, I don't believe he's a 3-4 backer. Neither is Hutchinson. And you can't say to me, especially with Jacksonville, like just think about it. Jacksonville invested first-round picks in the past 4 years in Josh Allen and in Clavon Chason, okay? Both 3-4 edge rushers. What the fuck are you going to take the number 1 pick of another guy like that? Number 1, if you're going to transform him into a 3-4 guy, which he's not. He's never done that. Okay? And again, what's their main MO? It's Doug Peterson. Offensive fucking mind. Protect Trevor Lawrence. So this whole Aiden Hutchinson or even fucking Trayvon Walker to the Jacksonville Jaguars, to me, is so fucking out there that people aren't thinking for themselves. I don't know whether they just think that it's like, oh, I want to be like, I want to predict that Trent Baalke's trying to, draft the next Aldon Smith. Or that was fucking 12 years ago. Every draft's different, and every fucking coach is different, and every setup is different. They don't have a right tackle right now, and Cam Robinson, their left tackle, is on the second franchise tag. You really think they're going to fucking roll with that when they got 3 guys, Neal, Aquanu, and fucking Charles Cross right now who can go number 1 as their starting tackle? Give me a break.
I mean, I will say this, though. Doug Peterson was a part of the regime that drafted Fletcher Cox early on. So
Yeah, and he was also the guy who drafted fucking Jalen Hurts in the second round, when they didn't need him. And
I agree. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's out of their own possibility, but I get where you're coming from. But it's not out of their own possibility. But I appreciate the thought process, because I think people don't understand. It's like the road you're going down, and think it's the right road to go down. I think what you need to do is kind of look at the Eagles and how they were established, and kind of put that into the Jacksonville, because this motherfucker's going to do the same kind of shit. You fucking kidding me?
Well, the first year he was there,
it's what he knows. It's where his success was.
The first year he was there, they put everything into Carson Wentz. Okay, they don't have to do that anymore. They got fucking Trevor Lawrence. Okay, and then they went and put everything into Jalen Reagor, and that was a fucking bad move when they didn't get fucking
terrible move.
Justin Jefferson. That was a fucking terrible move. But it tells me that when they're in on somebody, they're gonna go get him. And again, people want to say it's Trayvon Walker. I just don't understand why you would do that. I don't understand why they would go get Aiden Hutchinson even too. I really believe, Scotty, there's a great chance, like you just said. I think there's a great chance that even though it's not probably going to be for a quarterback, I think there's a great chance they trade out. I really do.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's even if it's to number 2, or even if it's for some team that wants to go get if they're worried about a Trayvon Walker getting taken number 1, or they want Hutchinson so bad.
I think personally, honestly, the Jacksonville Jaguars mindset was to trade this pick all along. I think all season, since week 1, they're like, all right, if we end up with the first or second overall pick, we're trading out. But I think the problem was they didn't expect the quarterback crop to be this bad.
Yeah.
If there was a good quarterback crop, they would have been out already.
Oh, absolutely. They would have had the fucking pick of their litter, because when you draft,
I think honestly, I think the Jets would have been too.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of teams that would have already been out if the quarterback crop was good.
Absolutely.
And because it's not, because here's the deal, and here's the facts of the matter, and this is part of the reason why this mock is going to be so difficult. This draft is deep. It's deep at corner. It's deep at D lineman. There's okay amount of offensive linemen. It's deep at wide receiver. And then the way the trend's happening, all the running backs aren't getting taken. Now, last year there was what, 1 or 2 taken? It was Najee and who else was taken?
Etienne.
So there were still 2 taken in the first round like we predicted. But what I'm saying is, the odds are there'll probably still be at least 1 taken. But with that being said, there is so many different avenues to take this year now that you remove quarterback from the equation. Because you got the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints, who a lot of people are keen on as being potential quarterback candidates. Maybe the Atlanta Falcons. I personally don't think so, but who knows? But, okay, 2 to 3 teams. Dude, it's normally 7 to fucking 10 teams looking for a quarterback. And they don't usually all go after a quarterback. But there's 7 to 10 teams that are looking to get in that top 5, top 6 to potentially get a quarterback. And it's like this year, that's not the case. You have 1, 2, maybe 3. And to be honest with you, all those teams that need quarterbacks, they're in spots where if they just sit, they might still get the quarterback they want.
Yeah, exactly. And again, you're exactly right as far as, only probably about 4 teams want a quarterback. And here's the thing. The fact that this is one of those years, like 2013, the draft where it was like, who are we going to get? This quarterback's fucking terrible. I don't think they're terrible, but, it's not one of those years like last year was where you knew 5 guys were going to go. And there was potentially 6. So it's interesting. The like you said, the mocks are going to be absolutely wild, and I can't wait. And folks, our next episode 40, we are going to drop our mock drafts, and it'll be literally 2 days before the draft itself. Things should be a little bit clearer than they are now, at least. And we're gonna go to town, man. We're gonna go to town. We fucking kicked the fucking shit out of those prognosticators last year. And like you said, it's gonna be tougher. Let's do it again.
Hang on, Rock. Here's my thing. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not feeling too well. I'm feeling a little.
Oh no.
I'm feeling a little lightheaded. I'm getting hot. I might need to call a doctor. Dr. Tomas is on the line. If you fucking, we got him coming here right now. I need more cowbell, So Dr. Tomas is entering the conversation. So before we get to your favorite, let's bring Dr. Tomas in here and see,
I just sent him
his
the thing.
thoughts on some shit.